AVC, friends, vinyl lovers. Wes here checking in. Another episode of the Vinyl Survivor series. Hope everyone is doing well. As usual, 5 records up. Let's see which ones made it and which ones didn't. First thing we have here was a prize from Josh Dawkin. This is a copy of Run-D.M.C's Raising Hell from 1986. The first album I really ever fell in love with. The album that got me into hip-hop. The album that started it all for me, for really just enjoying music as a thing in general. You know, before this album came out, I enjoyed listening to music, but I never really collected any music or owned any music. But this was just so new and so different to anything I knew before. It just made me want to listen to it over and over and over again. And I mean, when I first heard this, I hardly even understood what they were saying. It was just that much of a different thing. And so it was really cool that he sent me this. I actually have the alternate cover. This was available in a purple and green cover, as well as the green and pink cover. This one I've had for a while. The vinyl itself is really rough, but there's no way I'll ever get rid of this. But this is a really super clean copy, and Josh sent this to me. It's an original. This is not a reissue. Really excellent album. Profile Records. It's a master disc stamped in the dead wax. So yeah, Run-D.M.C's Raising Hell, classic hip hop album. I mean, this is something, even if you're not into hip hop, you should have this. It's Tricky, My Adidas, Walk This Way, You Be Illin'. Awesome stuff. So, Run-D.M.C's Raising Hell. Thanks again for this, Josh. And then the second thing he sent to me as a prize was Yes's Fragile. 1972, I believe, is the date on this one. Just get some lyrics and notes on the inside there. Of course, the green and orange Atlantic label. Got an SRC in the dead wax, which is Specialty Records Corp. And on the label, the address is 75 Rockefeller Plaza, but on the inside of the gatefold, we got 1814 Broadway, or 1841 Broadway. So it's probably not an original pressing, but it's a very nice, clean sounding, perfect copy. I won't ever need to replace this. I don't really care about having a first pressing that much. I'll take one if I can get one, but nothing wrong with a very nice original pressing. And here's the original book that goes with this album. Cool pictures in here. But anyway, Yes is Fragile, definitely a prog masterpiece. Awesome. Just one 20-minute track and 2 10-minute tracks, and just, yeah. So that one's going in the collection. Thanks again for that one, Josh. Alright, the next thing we have here is something I saw. I believe Derek showed this. He spoke about it a little bit, and I did some research on it a little bit, and it sounded really interesting. It sounded like something right up my alley as far as being something that was very political, very anti-war, sort of avant-garde, experimental sort of thing. This is On the Seventh Day. I believe this is from 1970. Don't see a date, but I'm pretty sure this is from 1970. But this is interesting. There's a lot of sound clips from sort of news reports and political speeches and other sort of sound effects done over music, and then there's some singing. And it sort of opens with this line that's pretty catchy. It says, "It took God 6 days to create a perfect world. On the 7th day he rested. That was a big mistake, for on the 7th day we took over." Very, very powerful statement, very very true statement. We're going to do ourselves in. It's sort of inevitable. There's no way to stop it. We're destined to. I think that's the cycle of things. We're destined to destroy ourselves. It would upset the balance if one species were controlling forever. You know, it would just. I think there needs to be a cycle to everything in the universe, and we're part of that cycle, and we're here now, but we're not going to be here forever. So, you know, it's sort of inbuilt into us to be sort of destructive to ourselves, and eventually that's gonna do us all in. It'll be long after I'm gone, but you know, we see sort of the early signs of how things happen, how things could eventually turn really bad for us all. But anyway, enough of the politics. But yeah, I saw him show this, and the prices on this can get quite high. I was lucky enough to find this for $10 on eBay. The jacket, you know, it's in decent shape, but it's definitely not a mint copy, but it's in decent enough shape. And actually, another thing that I like about this is this cover was banned, of course, because people were upset by naked children on the cover. It's on a Mercury label. I do like this label too. For some reason, I don't like the orange and red Columbia label where the Columbia is written around the outside, but this red and black Mercury is a lot better. But yeah, that's on the 7th day. Very interesting sort of collector's piece based on the cover art as well as the content, sort of the political statement and whatnot of it all. Cool pickup. I'm glad to have this in the collection. It was a little bit disappointing musically, just because it wasn't that interesting musically. It was just interesting to hear all the news clips sort of cut together, and the overall theme of the whole thing was interesting. Alright, next up we have Gordon Lightfoot-Shadows, 82. So some later Gordon Lightfoot. This is definitely not somewhere to start with Gordon Lightfoot. A lot of the content on this album is sort of like love ballads kind of things, and just not really what I'm that interested in when it comes to Gordon Lightfoot. So this, like I said, this album is not really that interesting to me. Here's the insert, the lyrics, and a picture, guitar picture there. Tan, Warner Brothers label. There is a rifle in the dead wax, so this is done at Winchester Pressing Plant. It has mastered by Capitol stamped in the dead wax as well. After the catalog number, we have an RE-2, a WW2, an F6, and then a pound sign with a 6. So I don't know what all that means. Lots of gibberish to me. I guess if I researched Warner Brothers dead wax, maybe I could decode some of this stuff. On side 1 we have RE-1, WW1, F5, and then number 6 again. Pound sign 6 again. But anyway, yeah, Gordon Lightfoot-Shadows, as I said again, this is not where I would recommend somebody start out with him, but I am a Gordon Lightfoot completist, so this has to go in the collection, and it's a nice, clean copy. Okay, and the last thing we have up for today, another holiday album. We have Pete Fountain, Merry Christmas, or Candy Clarinet, Merry Christmas from Pete Fountain. This is Pete Fountain playing a lot of Christmas classics on the clarinet. You got Christmas Song, Winter Wonderland, Let It Snow, Blue Christmas, Jingle Bell Rock, I'll Be Home for Christmas, Little Drummer Boy, Silver Bells, White Christmas, and some other stuff. And this one is on Coral Records, stereo. I do like that Coral label. I like a lot of the Coral labels. I like this one. Very colorful, easy to read. Very cool label. Nothing really interesting going on in dead wax here. But yeah, as I said in a recent thread response, I have way more Pete Fountain albums than anyone should ever have. But so why not have a Pete Fountain Christmas album as well as part of my Christmas collection? So I want to thank you all for watching another episode of Survivor Series. 5 more records, all 5 made it. Don't be worried. There's a lot of duds coming up in the next few episodes. I haven't lost my mind. Just stuff I wanted to keep in these patches. So, you know, it comes and it goes. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon. Cheers.